Hello and welcome to Grid Vision. A new season of Champion Power Equipment Truck Series action is upon us, and I sure am excited to be here. My name is Brian Britt. Of course, I have Timothy Babcock going to be joining me in the booth here tonight. First race that he's called with us, so definitely an exciting one. We do want to wish the best to Austin Edstrom, who is a little bit under the weather tonight. He of course, will be joining us next week. Of course, down behind the cameras is our producer, Austin Derbyshire. But here we go. We're going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum here. Of course, do want to we have a track map, so we can actually kind of look at Bristol here. Of course, it's in Bristol, Tennessee. Opened in 1961, and this place is quite a coliseum. I think it's named that for exactly the same, for that reason. 5 degrees of banking, 5 to 9 degrees of banking actually on the front stretch and back stretch. So still a lot of banking there, but in the corners, this is where the banking becomes very, very pronounced. 22 to 24 degrees of banking. Backstretch, of course, is 4 to 8 degrees of banking. So this place is high banked. It almost, in a lot of ways, is the super speedway of short tracks, I'd call it. I mean, these guys are going to be hitting 100 miles plus an hour around these corners, and anything could happen here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. I do want to talk a little bit about last season. Of course, Andrew Hale and Keegan Sabilo came down to a pretty much duel at the, I do believe, at the last track of the season. I do believe it was Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and it was an awesome race where it came down to, I do believe, separated by 1 point at the end. Andrew Hale came out on top. Both of those drivers are going to be lined up and ready to do battle here at Bristol here as well. Let's take a look at the keys to the race here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. First key to the race is going to be save your fast repair. Of course, Champion Power Equipment Truck Series does feature one fast repair, and this is the track. If you want to have a fast repair, this is the track you're going to want to have it. Second key to victory is going to be strategic while pitting under caution. They have 3 sets of tires that are down in the pits, and of course, when you pit at this racetrack, you are guaranteed to lose track position, and if you're too far back in the pack, you could even lose a lap. Third key to the race is going to be enter the correct pit entry, or entrance, I should say. Of course, this track is a dual pit road. If you enter the wrong pit road, you could get a black flag, and that would be a very bad thing at a track like Bristol Motor Speedway. I do believe, but Tim, how are you tonight? Of course, we're going to be going into our picks here in just a moment. Just wanted to touch base with you, see how you're doing.
I'm good. I'm definitely excited to see the guys under the lights here. Typically, they run daytime here, correct?
I think they, in different times of the year of the season, they run day or night. But let's go ahead and get into the picks. Of course, my pick tonight is James South returning back to the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. He's been one of the faster guys in practice. Let's see if he maintains that here coming into tonight's race as qualifying is wrapping up. Who's your pick, Tim?
Mine is also going to be James South. I'm looking forward to seeing him wrap the bottom like he's very good at doing here.
We'll see how he does. Of course, Austin Derbyshire, he has picked our current reigning champion. Austin Derbyshire has picked our current reigning champion, that being the 4 of Andrew Hale. We do have some new faces out here as well. Looks like Harley Barletta is on the pole right now. A driver I don't know. Nathan Tallman is another driver I don't know. Stan Carnathan. We got all kinds of new faces that are going to be lined up here tonight at in the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. Of course, looks like qualifying just starting to ramp up here. Of course, we didn't really get a lot of time to take a look at our schedule for the future. So towards the end of the race, or after the end of the race, we will take a look at that, and we'll get everybody kind of all situated when it comes to information for the rest of the week. But it looks like we do have the starting grid set. I mentioned, starting on the pole, Harley Barletta, new driver in the 81 machine. Second place, Keegan Sabilo, who was last season's runner-up. He starts second. Nathan Tallman, third place. Andrew Hale, champion, starts in fourth. Nathan Meyer was incredibly powerful last season. He's going to be starting in fifth. James Harris starts in sixth. Seventh is Stan Carnathan. Eighth, Tyler Meeks. Ninth, Garth Snyder. And rounding out the top 10 is William Mann Jr. And, of course, Tim, you could take 11th on back.
Yeah, it looks like we've got John Lucido with a 4 and 6. Looks like he might have just went out there just to ensure himself a decent spot. spot for a good pit selection. And then we've got George in the 13th.
So
Chris,
like breaking up a little bit here. Of course, Georgie Young is going to be starting in 13th. 14th, Chris Coyne. 15th, Ray Kennison. 16th, Jeff No. 17th, James South, me and Tim's pick. Of course, 18th, Jason Taylor. And 19th, Dan Hillewig. Hopefully, Tim's mic gets a little bit cleared up there. We're having a little bit of some technical difficulties, so, but it looks like we have gone through the field here. 150 laps here tonight at Bristol. That sounds like a lot if you were at any other track, but this is a half-mile track. This place, we're going to see 14 to 15-second laps at this track. If it goes green, this is going to go by in a moment, essentially. Our projection says this race, if it stayed green, would take about 30 minutes to run. But this is Bristol, baby. There are not going to be, I don't think, a green. There will be some probably green flag runs, but this will not be a race I think we run without a caution. So we'll see how that plays out. 150 laps here tonight. As I mentioned, 3 sets of tires down in the pits. Of course, fuel window is, I do believe, from what I've heard from James Harris, is, I do believe, 150 laps. So it is going to be very, very close on fuel. If we have a caution, that will make it to where you can make it on gas. So I don't think that's really going to be a question of fuel. But fast repairs, I think that's going to be an incredibly valuable resource as well as tires. And I do believe everybody is rolling around. The pace car lights are out. And I do believe we're going to be taking one more lap around Bristol Motor Speedway. As I'm curious what Harley Barletta has got in the tank here. One thing about a track like Bristol, you could be incredibly fast in qualifying, but you're going to want to have the race pace and the ability to save tire at this racetrack. Of course, concrete racetracks are always very abrasive and usually do hurt the tires quite a bit. So let's see what Harley has in store. I know Keegan Sabilo has real-world driver experience on short tracks, but I don't think he's got real-world experience at this track, Bristol Motor Speedway. This is where the big dogs race. As there goes the pace car down pit road, and the green flag is out for the first time here. And we already got a checkup on the bottom line. That is the 11, I do believe, of Nathaniel Tallman. Ended up, I do believe, put Nathan Meyer 3 wide as a result. So we almost had a caution right at the beginning of our event. It looks like I think everything has gotten settled out. Keegan Sabilo, quick to pounce on the lead. And we, of course, see Harley Barletta trying to make something happen there in that second place. Oh, we got an issue. The 82 of Stan Carnata, or Carnathan, I should say, has been put into the outside wall. Love that Dale Earnhardt Wrangler tribute paint scheme, but unfortunately that thing has just got a little bit of damage on it. Let's take a look back and see if we can figure out exactly what happened here to the 82. Definitely curious to see what kind of funny business happened here. It had to be based on some contact. We see the 82 right here. And Jeff No, I do believe, had got a run on the straightaway. And unfortunately, I don't think the 82 knew that he was getting that run. I mean, definitely a racing incident if I've ever seen one here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Things happen so fast at this racetrack. We'll take another look at it.
Yeah, it looks like
off the back end. Go ahead, Tim.
Maybe his spotter just was late to let him know that somebody was on the outside there.
No, I think that's exactly what it was. I mean, how difficult is it to know when somebody's on your outside here at a track like Bristol? Things happen so fast. I mean, you have experience at this racetrack, Tim?
Yes, I do. With them already moving to the high side, like we've seen the 81 truck there on the second lap already going to the high side, you wouldn't think that the high side would come in that fast, but they these guys are in a hurry.
100%. And you know, Bristol is kind of a track that as the run, I think, goes on, that high side becomes probably a little bit more of a viable thing, but it seemed like immediately these guys were kind of moving up there. So curious to see if anybody runs the bottom. I think that's going to be the tire saving line from what I've known of this racetrack. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's how you protect the right front and just get good at the bottom. Trying to pass on the high side will be really hard when the tire wear happens.
Yeah, I think that's 100% right. When it comes to being able to keep the momentum up there, it's going to be really hard to pass on the bottom. Let's take a look at, of course, one of our sponsors here, talk a little bit about Champion Power Equipment, who is the title sponsor of this series. This broadcast is brought to you by Champion Power Equipment. Since 2003, CPE has earned a reputation for designing and producing the market's finest power equipment with a 4.5 million generators sold in North America. Champion has decades of experience providing dependable and durable power products designed and engineered in the U.S. For the North American and world markets. Visit them at championpowerequipment.com for more information. Champion Power Equipment, powering your life. Pace car lights are out. We're getting ready to get this thing back underway. And, of course, we've had an exciting first 5 laps, I should say, here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Keegan Sabilo starting on the bottom this time around. Now, it seems like the top line had a better launch on that initial start. Let's see if that's going to be the case here. And there's the flag out in the air again with a really good launch, really good on James Harris, who's able to follow along with that restart advantage and contact the wall there from Harley. And he, of course, is going to, I think, fall back into third. Hopefully he can hang on to that position as he is being chomped at the bit right now by Andrew Hale, our reigning champion. Already, look at the 81 getting a huge run to the top, though. Very fast for Harley Barletta, making a run possibly even for the lead. As you can see, Keegan Sabilo, he's wrapping right around the bottom, trying to do exactly what we're talking about, saving those tires. We do see a big race going on between Tyler Meeks and I do believe Nathaniel Tallman possibly for that 5th place position. Meeks is stuck on the bottom and is starting to lose ground. And here comes John Lucido.
Yeah, it looks like Harley's trying to make a spot to where he can get around Keegan here, but Keegan keeps taking his line from him everywhere he goes.
Yeah, and can't really blame him, but he's not going to be able to take the line that time as the 81 gets a solid run to the high side, and they are side by side for the lead. And it looks like Harley Barletta is going to take the lead back. Our pole sitter, caution flag is back out on the speedway, but Harley Barletta, new leader, or should I say old leader, back up in front. Not exactly sure what brought the caution out, and I think it might have been the 117. Chris Coyne, possibly, some issues here. We're going to see if we can't dial it back and see exactly what happened here. As that Logitech machine seems to have had an issue possibly with Jason Taylor here as they were racing side by side. Oh, Taylor all of a sudden got tight or some type of handling woes. Condition there just happened to the 15 suddenly. And I think that is definitely what the cause of our caution was there. So possibly look at the 15 and see exactly what happened with Jason Taylor. I think he just drove it in a little too deep. Car lost traction. What do you make of this, Tim?
It almost looked like he might have got his left barely on the apron, and that'll cause the truck to over-rotate right there in the center.
I think that's definitely a really good, I think that's a great point. Let's take a look. We're looking on board with Jason Taylor to see if he did touch that apron. I don't know, maybe just barely, but definitely he had a big issue. So something caused his truck to, like you said, over-rotate. I don't think he got too much damage on it. I don't think the 117 got any damage, really. I think these guys are going to be fine. But caution flag, of course, still waves. We're on lap 14 right now. Just started lap 15 as Harley Barletta, of course, is out front. We're going to take a quick step away. We'll be right back with some more racing action here at Bristol. Welcome back to Grid Vision's coverage of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series inaugural race, or should I say first race of the season here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Pace car has dipped down pit road. Green flag has waved once again here as Harley Barletta, of course, has secured the lead on that last green flag run. But here comes Keegan Sobilo trying to get it back here. One interesting thing, we did see some drivers that did pit during that caution flag. I do believe Jeff No brought it down pit road. We do see some battling as Andrew Hale tries to send it in on John Lucido, and of course James Harris as well in the battle here. This is a big fight for fourth, as of course Harley Barletta right now in the lead. Of course Nathaniel Tallman making a big move here. He has actually just taken second place away from Keegan Sobilo here. Caution flag back out, but big moves for the 11. I do believe we had an issue. I think that's the one. That's actually Brad Thacker in the 56. A little bit of a new paint scheme there for him. I remember last season he had the oversized numbers on the door of that race car. But it looks like he's got the numbers a little bit smaller this time. But let's see exactly what happened here with Brad Thacker. It looks like he just lost it all by himself. And unfortunately, George Young in the wrong place at the wrong time. Massive hit to the front nose of George Young. Would not be surprised to see him having to use a fast repair. I mean, this is, of course, a short track. When you see front hits like that at a short track, you might not want to worry so much. But this is Bristol. This is the fastest short track I think there is. What do you think, Tim?
Yes, the corner speeds are definitely going to be very high, especially right there. They're trying to get back on the throttle. But unfortunately, with that spin right there, it just fell right into his lap. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah, absolutely no option there. We did have some drivers, I do believe, that have elected to go down pit road. James Harris has elected to go down pit road. Let's see exactly what he is doing. I don't know if he's going to be maybe taking tires. He hasn't gotten to his box yet. That's one of the bad things about this racetrack is that you have to use both lanes. Otherwise, you get a black flag. So he is just now getting into his box, and we'll see if he's going to be taking tires, and it does appear that he is. While we have a moment, of course, I think now would be a good time to shout out another one of the partners here in the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. That being Green Mountain Grills. Introducing Green Mountain Grills, where innovation meets flavor. Your grilling experience reaches new heights. Are you tired of the same old grilling routine? Elevate your barbecue game with Green Mountain Grills, the ultimate choice for enthusiasts who crave precision, performance, and mouth-watering results. They have smart control technology, versatile cooking options, whether you're cooking, you're a seasoned pit master or just starting out. They have all kinds of different options for you. Of course, made with quality craftsmanship, wood fire flavored, and they're also very easy to use. So if you're a beginner or an expert, Green Mountain Grills is definitely for you. Definitely check those guys out at greenmountaingrills.com. Definitely a great option if you're looking to have some barbecue, having some friends over, you're a big grill kind of a guy. I definitely, every time we hear this ad, I get hungry, Tim.
Well, it's spring break, and you know, here in the South, we love to barbecue.
Our green flag is back out in the air. Harley Barletta. Very good start. Able to slide right up in front of Nathaniel Tallman. Of course, you see a big run to the inside, though, from Keegan Sobilo. Trying to make that bottom work. He's been sticking and kind of glued down there all race long. 3 wide with John Lucido, our reigning champion, sent into the inside wall. Heavy damage on the front nose of the 4 machine. And that is going to possibly end the race of our current reigning champion. He does have a fast repair left, but he is not moving. He's probably shocked and stunned after this incident. As we're going to take a look back at this one, it looks like a little bit of a stack up there. Keegan Sobilo, I think, went a little bit later than the 4 was expecting. And, of course, we see John Lucido gives a little bit of a bump to the back end of, I think that's Nathaniel Tallman. And unfortunately, they get put 3 wide. The 4 is on the bottom and gets tagged on his right door, which sends him down into the inside wall. This has got to be a heartbreaking way to start your season. It could very well be. Our producer just mentioned he thinks it's on Hale, and I got to say, I mean, I think I could possibly agree with him. I think that 3 wide is a thing we see here at this racetrack. Let's take another look at it. Got a little bit of a different vantage point. You see the 73 tries to take, of course, go 3 wide. And look, Hale clearly moves up the racetrack on exit. What's your take on this, Tim?
I don't know why you would move up to there when he clearly was gonna stay low there and be set up for the corner. He had been running the low line the previous 10 or so laps.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe it even could have something to do with he just had a tight condition off the corner or something like that. It could very well have been something just as simple as that. And unfortunately, Hale essentially ejected into the inside wall.
It was definitely nice to see him have good discipline to hold their brakes and not get anybody else caught up in the wreck.
That's actually a really good point. We really didn't see that wreck be as bad as it could have been. I mean, Hale could have popped up in front of the rest of the field, and it could have been a lot worse than it was. Of course, Andrew Hale right now is 3 laps down. He is the only driver that is a lap down. So that is unfortunate for him. Hopefully he gets back into it. With the way we're having cautions, I think it's possible to get back onto the lead lap fairly easily. But Harley Barletta still out front. Of course, qualified on the pole, led the majority of the race thus far. And we've seen a new driver, of course, Nathaniel Tallman has really been making a name for himself in that 11 machine. Of course, he's got John Lucido. Lucido, I'll tell you what, I got to say, I know you might not know John Lucido, Tim, but he has been super, super aggressive all last season. He was able to grab, I do believe, a victory, and he came really, really close a lot of times, other times to a victory. So John Lucido seems to be highly, highly motivated to be a factor in every single race, and I think he's showing that here tonight as well. Of course, William Mann Jr., he's now up into the 5th place position. He's another one that has been really showing a lot of improvement. Pace car lights are out. So last season, I do want to mention before we go back green, last season, up until the final race, we had no repeat winners. Could we see that here this season as well? I sure hope so, because it left us on the edge of our seats every race, wondering who was going to be the winner that week. As the pace car down pit road, green flag is back out in the air on lap 31. And Harley Barletta, another really great start there. Nathan Meyer, he's been picking his way through the pack. He settles into 5th. As he's going to try to battle with William Mann Jr. Side by side behind them is Garth Snyder, as well as we see Nathaniel Tallman battling with the 73. Of course, I do believe Lucido has got the preferred line right now. You can see the drive on the exit as Lucido now up into the top 3. I do want to point to the tire fall off we're seeing not being that existent right now. It seems like there's not a whole lot of fall off, and I think that might have something to do with these guys able to cool their tires off under these cautions here, as now Keegan Zabilo has to try to hold off the 73 of Lucido, and now Lucido under fire once again a little bit from Nathaniel Tallman. Of course, Nathan Meyer, he's wrapping around the bottom, trying to get side by side with the 11 of Tallman. As we look on the roof camera of the 11 machine. What an awesome camera angle at this track. And look at that, you see Nathan Meyer sending it in the Crown Royal machine, I do believe dedicated to his father. As we begin lap 35, or 36 I should say, there goes Lucido still battling with the 11. And this is of course possibly going to open the door here for Meyer. Oh, the 11 getting really, really tight there on exit. Tire wear could be starting to become a factor here, as that bottom line seems to become less and less of an option when it comes to holding speed. We saw the 29 of William Mann Jr. just hit the wall. He falls back. Now, I do believe in 8th, he gets passed by Garth Snyder. And with all of this, Harley Barletta essentially is having himself a Sunday drive as he is not worried about anything. But John Lucido, oh, there goes John Lucido sideways. And there goes the 11 sideways. And the yellow flag is out as Nathan, I don't believe John Lucido brought that caution out. Nathaniel Tallman had a secondary or spun after Lucido. And I think this is the origin of the caution. So I'm not sure why he spun. I know that Lucido and him were embroiled in a tough battle. You see right here. Oh, wow. And Keegan gets a little bit of some damage there. And this is exactly, so this is what led to Lucido as well spinning, but of course the spin was more pronounced for Tallman. And of course he's able to get it kicked around. I don't think he got a lot of damage out of that. But that is a ton of track position loss. And we got some guys coming down pit road. Looks like Harley Barletta coming down pit road. Keegan Sobilo, Nathan Meyer. The entire field has elected to come down pit road, except we see Jeff No has decided to stay out. Jason Taylor, I do believe, is electing to stay out. Brad Dacker. Oh, I do believe we're going to see, if I'm not mistaken, Andrew Hale get a lap back here. So this is definitely very curious. Looks like I think everybody has elected to take possibly a set of tires. That'll pretty much give, I do believe, everybody 2 sets left here. And who will win the race off pit road and have that advantage on tires?
Will we see any strategy of some 2 tires with us only being 42 laps in?
I think that's definitely a possibility. I don't see why that couldn't be something that we see. Considering how much time loss you have at this racetrack, you're going to want to try to get track position. So that could be an option for sure. But anytime you have old tires versus new tires out on the racetrack here at Bristol, I think it could be a dangerous scenario. We got a top 4 all on old tires, and none of the top 4 have been up front here tonight. I think that's another factor that we got to keep in mind. This is a track that, being up front and being in the back is way different.
Clean air will always make your truck drive better.
100%. Yeah, and it could. But also you got to keep in mind that these drivers that are up in the top 4 haven't experienced what it feels like to maybe be in that clean air. Even though it might make the truck drive better, they might not be ready for that. And they also are going to have the pace. Looking at their best laps right now, Jeff No, 14.9 versus the driver that was in the lead earlier, 14.694. That's a big difference in lap time. And if you're in the lead and you're turning laps that are a lot slower, that could be an obstacle. It could be a dangerous thing for the drivers that are trying to get to the field. But we're going to find out. I think we're going to have our questions answered, our concerns addressed here in just a moment. Pace car lights are out. We see, of course, I do believe George Young trying to make it off of pit road. And he just barely is able to stay without going a lap down. So you can just tell how tricky it is to get off pit road. I think Young was trying to get some damage repaired from that front end hit we saw earlier. You can see him flying around the corner there, trying to get caught up with the field. And looks like he's going to be able to do that. But Jeff No in control. Pace car down pit road as Barney the flag man waves that flag. And No takes off. Side-by-side battle for second place. We see Jason Taylor trying to make something happen to hold off Brad Dacker. Here comes Harley Barletta already shooting through the field. He is now up into third already. And, of course, Tyler Meeks following suit, trying to cut and dice his way through the field. Oh, we already got problems out on the racetrack. That's the 117 who had stayed out on the racetrack. Apparently, he had some problems, had to take a tow. And that does bring the caution flag out, so I'm not sure exactly what happened here, but clearly some heavy damage on the 117. He just gets loose in the center of the corner, smashes the outside wall, tags Keegan Sobilo a little bit there. And I think we're going to go ahead and take a quick step away. We'll pay some attention to our sponsors. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grid Vision's coverage of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. Of course, Jason Taylor right now out front. He is going to try to hold off Harley Barletta. Of course, Harley has been one of the quicker drivers all night long, but of course, Jason has been holding his own. I think he's on the older tires right now. We'll see how this plays out. Green flag is back out in the air as we get lap 50 started here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And here comes Tyler Meeks. Meeks is kind of an underdog here tonight, but he's got a lot of speed, and I think he's done the right thing. He's locked the 81 behind the 15 of Jason Taylor, and there goes Tyler Meeks. First time up in the lead. Can this be the difference maker? We know Meeks is fast, but here comes James Harris as well, trying to get by Brad Thacker. Here comes John Lucido. We got battling all over this racetrack. And here comes Jason trying to hold on to that race car. You can just tell that the 15 is uncomfortable right now. The tires are a little bit worn out on that race car. Oh, we got somebody sideways. Brad Thacker sideways further back. Caution flag is out. Also, Andrew Hale goes around again. Second incident he's been involved in. And this is unfortunate. Another caution flag out on the racetrack, and I do believe it has involved the 56 of Brad Thacker. Was driving it in deep on the high side. And I think, yeah, we saw this kind of an accident before. Unfortunately, William Mann Jr. just in the wrong place at the wrong time, gets some front nose damage. Just looks a lot like the George Young incident we saw earlier.
Yeah, I think he got into the debris up there. There's like some marbles up there, maybe from all the wrecks we've had tonight.
You could be exactly on the money there. I think that's definitely a good point. And you can see right there, he was so high up on the racetrack that he just kicked sideways, and it was a gradual thing that it seemed like he couldn't really stop it. And unfortunately, we were looking there and watching William Mann Jr. Nothing really William could do. I don't think William got a whole lot of damage from that one. It looks a little bit less severe than what we saw from George Young. But here's Andrew Hale, of course, our reigning champion. We see he gets involved with, I do believe, Dan Hillewig in the 63. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of damage there for the 4. But I got to tell you, I bet Andrew Hale is feeling like he's had enough of this racetrack already. Of course, Tyler Meeks out front right now. I think that was one of the plays of the race right there, was what Tyler Meeks was able to do, able to kind of lock the 81 of Harley Barletta behind Jason Taylor. I think that was genius. I mean, that's kind of one of the things you're going to want to do at a track like Bristol with tire, someone older tire starting in front of you're going to want to try to lock people behind that person. And it kind of sounds like a nefarious thing to do, but I think it's worth it. If you can get out front and get that clean air, I think it's worth it.
Also, we should add that small incident that Hale had right there stopped him from being able to get one of those 3 laps back.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Very good point. And, he needs as many of these laps as he could possibly get. I do want to mention, we were just talking about Brad Thacker, who was just involved in that last incident. He is now 2 laps down in 16th. Andrew Hale, of course, 3 laps down in 17th. George Young, he is 5 laps down. Chris Coyne, he is now 12 laps down. So 15 drivers remain on the lead lap here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And the first key to the race I had mentioned earlier was hold on to that fascia pair. And I think that's what we're starting to see here. A lot of these drivers have used those fascia pairs, and we still have just under 2/3 of the race to go. And here we go. Pace car lights have gone out. We're getting ready to get this thing back underway at Bristol Motor Speedway. Tyler Meeks, for the first time, is going to be leading us on the restart. And, of course, Jason Taylor still on the old tire, so he's been struggling a little bit in that 15 machine. We'll see if he can make his way towards the front. I'll tell you one driver that is both of our picks, Tim, was James South. He's now starting to gradually work his way up through the field. The 21 is now up, I do believe, into 7th place. As there's the green flag. He started all the way back, I do believe, outside of the top 15. Tyler Meeks up to the gears quickly. What a restart for that machine. Awesome job for Tyler Meeks. Can he hold off the 81, though? Harley Barletta. very quick driver here tonight. We do have Jason Taylor trying to hold off James Harris, not quite able to do it, as here comes Nathan Meyer trying to get by the 15 as well. We talked about a big loss of track position for Nathaniel Tallman. Well, he's back, and problems for the 15 of Jason Taylor. He comes to a stop on the apron here. Oh, we got the 47 of Kennison around, and yellow flag is back out. Kennison in the Arctic Cat 47 brings out the caution. The 15 probably thankful that caution did come out, considering I don't think a caution would have came out for his incident. As we look on board here, and look, just got loose on exit, overcorrected it to try to save it, hit the inside wall pretty hard, and we see Kennison off the nose, I do believe, of Jeff No. We're gonna have to look back at that one to kind of get a little bit of a better view of what happened there, but I do believe the 1 and the 47 involved with one another here. Of course, you see right there, that's just clearly just loose on exit. But the 47, what happens here? I think, yeah, he just gets loose in the center of the car, or should I say he was in the middle lane and just got loose. And unfortunately, No was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It just seems like that's the story of the night here tonight, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. While we have a moment, I think now would be another great time to shout out one of our sponsors here in the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series, that being Blackstone Management Partners. Blackstone Management Partners guarantees a unrivaled one-on-one approach with every client, providing them with solutions and services required to keep their dynamic brands thriving and one step ahead of the ever-changing consumer marketplace. Blackstone comprises expertise in marketing, communications, talent management, and event management. Working with their clients, they not only use traditional, but state-of-the-art platforms, including mobile marketing, experimental marketing, and cause-driven marketing. Visit them at www.bsmpartners.com. Definitely appreciate them coming on board here with the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. All the partners we've talked about here tonight have been long-time partners with this series, and just goes to show you the loyalty with this series. So we definitely appreciate that. It has been an interesting race, to say the least. I got to say, there's been quite a number of cautions, probably a little bit too many for my taste, but that's to be kind of expected at Bristol. Tim, do you think that's normal for a Bristol race?
Normally we see a bunch at the end. The statistics would show that it's caution fest at the end when the tires have really fallen off, and we're seeing a lot of trucks loose even on good tires.
Yeah, it's definitely really curious. Next week, we're going to be going to a very interesting track. I just was looking it up. Circuit of the Americas. So we're going from the shortest track to one of the longest tracks on the NASCAR schedule. So that's going to be a curious one to see these guys out there on the road courses. I think we've seen it a couple times before, if I'm not mistaken. I can't recall. But this is going to be very much outside of these drivers' comfort zones. Pace car lights are out, but it looks like no one is getting doubled up right now. So I do believe we have seen the admins take a little bit of a decision here. Single file restart. This is old school NASCAR restart right here. So here we go. Pace car getting ready to take that left turn down pit road as we start. The green flag flying with a single file restart here. And Tyler Meeks up to the gears. Really good start there, and already side by side. Nathan Meyer making a move to the inside of James Harris, trying to take over that third place position. And Meyer, I don't think he's happy with just that. Oh, a little bit of a loose condition coming off of turn 4. And that puts him back under fire from the 55 of Harris. Harris gets really, really close to that wall. I think Meyer is going to have to be content with that fourth place position for right now. And we do have a battle starting to brew for the lead, as we see, of course, Keegan Sabilo driving his way through the field, trying to work his way on Placido. But I do see the 81 trying to size up the 7 of Meeks. You can tell the 81 desperately wanting to reclaim the lead. And I think he's got the speed to do it as we are now 5 laps away from the halfway point. Side by side, though, I do believe for 4th, 5th, and 6th. We've got a big battle brewing further back here as, of course, we watch this battle for the lead. And it looks like Meyer has made it up to 3rd. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think if he gets his nose to the outside of him, he's going to clear him and check out.
No, I definitely think so. I think the 81, I was a little bit concerned earlier. I thought it was like, does this guy just have qualifying speed? This guy's got all of it. He's got the race speed. He's got the qualifying speed. But I'll tell you another driver. I said Nathan Meyer taking him to 3rd, but I correct myself here. Nathaniel Tallman is actually up to 3rd. I don't think anything can hold this guy back. This guy was spun out, went all the way back. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be talking about him because I think I might be jinxing him as he just got incredibly loose through the center of the corner. Did you see that? What a save from the 11 there as he is now under fire from the 24 of Nathan Meyer. As the top 5, top 6, throw a blanket over them. They are all right here as we're almost 3 wide for 2nd place. It looks like I think the 81 falls back, and there goes Meyer. He's going to fall back. He hits the apron. Something wrong with the 24, or maybe he just got a little bit worried, didn't want to be involved in that kind of action. I think he might have gotten loose. We're seeing a lot of loose conditions. Battle for the lead, though. The 11 of Nathaniel Tallman challenging the 7 of Meeks as we have crossed the halfway point. And new leader, Nathaniel Tallman, takes it over as we see a run from the 7 up to the back of the 11. I think the 7 just cut a little bit of a break there to the 11 as here comes the 81. We have had multiple leaders here. But you can tell, I think tire wear is starting to become a factor. 15-second laps, about a half a second off of our lap times earlier in this race. Nathaniel Tallman, though, out front right now. He's got about a 0.3 of a second lead. We're looking on board with James Sowell as he is getting really, really close to that wall. Of course, he is in that 9th place position, the 21 is. And he's running down right now Stan Carnathan. Of course, last lap, South was 0.2 faster. Oh, big wiggle for Tyler Meeks just now as he got really loose. A lot of these drivers are having some huge handling conditions right now. So no wonder we've been seeing all these cautions. I just think that these trucks seem to, whatever the setup is on these race trucks right now, seems to not like this Bristol Motor Speedway racetrack. Tires or something. Something about this track is not liking it. Here comes the 11 trying to dodge the 47 of Kennison, and that takes the 81 out. My goodness, lap traffic causes catastrophe at Bristol Motor Speedway. And that brings the caution flag out. The 81 probably with tremendous damage here after contact with a lap truck. Ray Kennison, we're going to look back at this, and I know a lot of drivers probably not too happy with the 47. Well, actually, I don't know. I'd be more angry with the 11 because the 11 hits the back of the 47. 47 goes up into the wall and then takes out 2nd and 3rd, I do believe. That's going to be another one. We're going to take another look at this one. This is a crash and a half right here. This is one that I think the champion power equipment drivers are going to be looking at for a long time. And I think that just the speed that the 11 caught up to the back of Kennison was too great. Just was not able to really predict that speed difference. And unfortunately, I think that led to a catastrophe for the 81. I'm wondering what the damage is going to be like. Oh, look at that. Just right up into the outside wall. The 47, of course, you see the 7 of Meeks tries to avoid this. And he can't. I mean, how would you? There's no way to avoid that.
It looks like the 47 might have gotten tight there. I seen the fireball out the exhaust, which is a good indicator that he is out of the gas right there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was out of the gas because he was in the wall. But I mean, no, I mean, you're saying he might have gotten tight before he got hit by the 11, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I could see that being the case. I mean, that would make sense of why the speed difference was so great, right? I think that definitely might explain it. And of course, John Lucido right now is your leader. James South has moved up to the second place position. Jeff No is up to third. Jason Taylor fourth. Nathaniel Tallman, who was involved in that incident, he probably got some front end damage. He's up to fifth right now. But of course, top four, if I'm not mistaken, are all on old equipment, old tires. We're on lap 85, getting ready to start 86 here. What an event we've had here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. What a way to start the season off. I think there's going to be a lot of enemies made here tonight. And of course, we have pit strategy up on the screen. It looks like last time pitted was 44 laps ago for John Lucido, and I do believe the same is true for James South. 22 laps ago for Jeff No. Of course, 23 laps ago for Jason Taylor. So definitely very helpful to have that up on our screen so we can kind of know what we're dealing with here. Now, Jeff No has been in pit road 5 times here tonight, and I'm not sure if I 100% know that not all of them were tire stops, but I'm wondering if maybe he might even be out of tires here, and that could be something that a lot of these drivers are going to start to have a problem with here. I mean, the majority of drivers have been down pit road 2 times. And there are only 3 sets of tires on pit road for each driver. So it could be the case we do see some drivers that are going to be out of tires next stop. So I think that a lot of these drivers are being very strategic on when they go down. But here we go. Pace car lights have gone out. Green flag is getting ready to fly once again here as we get ready to start lap 88 here. There goes Barney, the pace car, or should I say, I don't know his name, but hey, green flag is back out on the racetrack. Lucido up to the gears, and he could tell he is definitely on old tires. Here comes Jeff No, almost able to get to the inside. We're looking on board, I do believe, with Jason Taylor, if I'm not mistaken. As Taylor's attacking right now, moves up to that 5th place position. And we're almost 3 wide. As you can see, South trying to hold on to some positions here. He's riding really close to the wall. James Harris making a big move to the inside, as well as Nathan Meyer. We have essentially pandemonium going on this racetrack. It's hard to keep track of what's happening. But John Lucido still in the lead. Oh, problems for Tyler Meek as he gets into it with the 82 of Stan Carnathan, and that brings the that dreaded yellow flag out again. So let's take a look and see exactly what happened here. So I guarantee you these guys are going to be hot under the collar after this race. And right here, it looks like, I think Taylor got really loose off the front bumper of the 82. And I just think that kind of led to, oh, look at that, the 15 even. Yeah, he was definitely having some handling woes, and Meek's involved once again here. I mean, a race that has been quite difficult to deal with for these drivers. Let's take another look at it. And yeah, just a loose condition for the 15 on the exit, and that just caused pandemonium. I mean, I just think the 7 and the 82 just were reacting, essentially. And look at that huge hit. We're going to watch it one more time because I think I might be missing a little piece of the puzzle here. Our producer's pointing out something. Well, yes, I agree. He did send him up there, but the 15 got loose on exit, and that's what led to the 82 closing in at such a high rate of speed. But I definitely understand exactly, but definitely glad we were able to get a look at that and really break it down for the fans out there. But you know what? Everybody's coming up. Let's see if we can dial somebody up. I know James Harris said he wanted to do that. I think it'd be a good time to dial somebody up right quick. Why not James Harris? We'll talk to him right quick. James Harris, we got you up here in the booth. Figured we'd dial you up right quick. I know you mentioned it earlier. How are you liking it out there? It seems like it's been pretty difficult to get a good green run going, and seems like the trucks aren't handling very well.
No, they're real snappy loose on fresh tires, and then there's a little bit of a section there where they feel fantastic, and then just like they were last time we were here, for some reason, mainly on corner entry, they get so loose if you get about 25-30 laps on your tires, and it just, I don't know why it does it. I don't know if it's something with the setup, but you just have to kind of Have to kind of drive it a little different once it gets on older tires, and some of these guys, I guess, aren't used to that.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that is the case. You know, have you been learning? Has the track been changing at all to kind of help you with that, or is it making it worse?
The track temp hasn't changed since the start of the race, and the track conditions are about the same as they were at the start. They don't seem to be changing very much from what I can tell. And we started the race saving tires. I'm like, what am I doing? We're not gonna have a long enough run, so we're just gonna burn these suckers up these last 60 laps.
Yeah, definitely. I think the pace car lights are getting ready to go out probably right now. We'll let you get back to it. Appreciate you chatting us up, James. We'll give a quick shout out before we let you go.
I also had my wife Courtney. I love you, babe.
Alrighty, that was James Harris, driver of the 55 machine. Of course, rocking the Champion Power Equipment paint scheme there. Definitely lovely to talk to him as we get ready to get this thing back underway. And that makes sense to me that he mentioned about around lap 30, the truck becomes very, very snap loose. And you can clearly see that a lot of drivers, when they hit that phase, they don't know quite what to do. Pace car dips down pit road. Barney the flagman getting ready to wave that green flag, and there we are. Green flag is back out. Of course, Lucido, I do believe, is on 50-lap-old tires right now, but still has elected to stay out. We'll see how this plays out for him, as the 81 of Harley Barletta has been through it. He's led a lot of laps here tonight, but he's been in some incidents. He's now side by side for second place with Nathaniel Tallman. Both of these drivers, new drivers in this series, and I'll tell you, they've hit the ground running to be new drivers here as we get ready to come up to lap 100. A little bit of a handling blow there for the 81, though. Out on the exit is big move from Tallman to the inside for the lead. The 81 goes into the outside wall right in front of James Harris, the 55. And the caution flag flies once again. I'll tell you, the guy that's Barney has been wanting to go see Mary Sue, his sweetheart, and eat a hot dog with her this entire race, but the cautions keep coming and he's not able to do it. And look at this. Right there, you see the 81 just gets, I think, a little tight, and 55 was already there. But with that, I think now is a good time. We'll take some time to pay some more attention to our sponsors. We'll be right back with the last 50 laps here at Bristol.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Grid Vision's coverage of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. Nathaniel Tallman out front right now with Nathan Meyer side by side with him. Pace car has dipped down pit road, and here we go. Green flag back out in the air once again here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. What a start there for the 24. Really able to time out the 11's jump there, and now they are side by side for the lead. That was probably one of the best restarts I've seen from second place all night. I think Meyer might have the lead as a result of it. Look at that. Really wrapping that top very, very well as they still dogfight for that top spot. Can this maybe open the door for James Harris? These two battling side by side. I don't know. They have put over a half a second gap on third place right now as they are still side by side. None of these drivers, or these two drivers, are giving at all. But this is some of the finest racing I think we've seen all night between two drivers. As Nathan Meyer finally jumps, is able to crest that hill and conquer that last rock and finally gets out in front of the 11 here. Now, of course, we got 3 wide, almost 4 wide further back here, and somehow no caution. Keegan Sabilo, of course, involved. He was one of the big losers in that, falls back to 14th. I'm not sure what happened, but we almost had a catastrophe there. Let's take a look back and see if we can unpack this. And see, Sabilo just gets loose in front of Meeks. And you see, of course, look at the move. Look at John Lucido. The 73 takes the gap, even though, I mean, that was one of probably the most dangerous moves I think he could have pulled. But it worked flawlessly, and he is now up to 8th as a result. Oh, Gar Snyder up into the outside wall. This is going to bring the caution out. William Mann Jr. sideways on the racetrack. That was one of the craziest things I've ever seen at Bristol Motor Speedway. A 4-wide move from John Lucido. As we take a look back at this incident, it looks like Garth just got loose on the top side, and unfortunately, William Mann Jr. just had to try to react to it, and I don't think he made the right call. And unfortunately, William Mann, of course, he's been involved in some things here tonight. Looks like he's going to be able to drive away, though, as we now have less than 40 to go. We're going to take a look at this and see. Looks like we're looking on board with William Mann. I think he had enough time to react to this. I mean, I feel like if he could have got off the gas and maybe moved down the racetrack, I think he would have avoided Snyder. I don't know. I think he had a lot more warning than other people have had in this race. But still, unfortunately, you know, an incident did occur, and Snyder, of course, we've seen that a lot on that top side. It seems like it's very easy to get loose up there. And I think that might even go back to something that James Harris had said earlier about, you know, essentially at that certain point in the tire life, the car just wants to snap. And I think it's a lot of times up there on that higher line. As we see the 47 of Ray Kennison getting the lap back here. Take a quick look through the top 10 as they run right now. Nathan Meyer, of course, in the lead with a thrilling battle. Was able to come out on top against Nathaniel Tallman, who sits second place. James Harris, of course, has worked his way up to third. Jeff No, he sits in fourth place. Gar Snyder, who we just saw spin right in front of, I do believe, William Mann Jr. is still in fifth, so didn't really lose anything out of that. Seventh, of course, Tyler Meeks. John Lucido, he's up to seventh. Dan Hillewig, he's in eighth. Harley Barletta, who is our pole sitter, is in ninth place. Andrew Hale has gotten back on the lead lap. I just noticed that. He is back in the top 10. How about that? So his chances are still alive. I do see Keegan Sabila has elected to go down pit road here. As we're getting closer and closer to the end of this thing, coming up to 35 to go. I think we'll have about that amount. Isn't that interesting? But our producer, I do believe, is having some fun in chat. Nathan Meyer, though, has done a fantastic job, and we've talked about him all last season. Anytime the 24 shows up in a race, he is, I think, he has a chance to win it. I mean, this guy is fast at all sorts of different racetracks. I've seen him at the super speedways be quick, and I've seen him at the technical tracks be quick. And I think this is one of those technical tracks. And just the battle that he put on with Nathaniel Tallman, and the way he was able to restart on that last restart, he kept his front nose right at the, I do believe, right rear of Tallman, and that's an impressive thing to be able to do at a track like Bristol. I mean, starting in second place is hard enough. When you're able to stay side by side, and it looks like we do have a delayed green on the racetrack. I do believe we're waiting on someone to get caught up to the rear of the field. And I think we're going to have ourselves a thrilling conclusion here to the race at Bristol. And as I mentioned before, we're going to be going to the Circuit of the Americas, I do believe, in Austin, Texas next week. And I know we already know James Harris, I don't believe, is going to make it to that race. We wouldn't be surprised if a lot of drivers are going to be skipping that one, because road racing in the NASCAR truck is quite a difficult challenge. Have you ever done any of it, Tim, any road racing?
Yes, I have. Circuit of the Americas is definitely a very tricky track to get around, though.
Oh, yeah. I think that's more of an F1 track.
Yeah, I think they have more turns there than any other track on this schedule.
Here comes the pace car down pit road. Nathan Meyer up through the gears. Really great restart. He did not allow Nathaniel Tallman to do the same thing that he did to the 11 last time, as we have Gar Snyder having almost some issues there with Tyler Meeks. I think he got up into the wall, but he's able to save it. Here comes John Lacido to the inside. They are racing really hard back here. You can see some rear end damage from Snyder. That could have been possibly from Meeks getting into the 5's rear end. I think there almost was something that went wrong, but luckily it didn't. But Meyer in control. 0.3 of a second gap on Nathaniel Tallman right now. Jeff No, he's been kind of an underdog here tonight. Somehow is up in third and is showing some good speed. Last time by, he turned his quickest lap of the race. So it looks like he has a chance to possibly get himself a top 3. What a good start to the season. As he, of course, is trying to hold off James Harris. As Harris is closing in top 4, right on top of each other. Almost, I do believe, a second separates all of these drivers. Of course, John Lacido, he's made some big moves. He's now up to the top 5. Trying to chase down the drivers ahead of him. Of course, he's being followed by Snyder. Snyder going up the racetrack. Or actually, I'm looking back. That caution flag is out. And, oh, Tyler Meeks. Big issues for the 7. Tyler Meeks probably got some major front end damage after that collision. We're definitely going to have to unpack this and did not get to see exactly what happened with Tyler Meeks here. Looking back, he doesn't look like he had a whole lot of people around him, and I think this is going to be William Mann Jr. Was it now? It looked like Meeks, so I must have been mistaken. Their cars look so similar. So yeah, I do believe you are right. Yep, right there. And I could have swore that was the 7. But it does look like that is correct. And unfortunately, we saw a big hit that probably ended William Mann Jr.'s race. I don't know. Well, he's still driving, but it definitely was a big hit for him. But Nathan Meyer still out front. And right now we have still 15 drivers that are on the lead lap. And I think now we got some drivers that have elected to go down pit road, I do believe. Nathaniel Tallman has elected to bring it down. So a lot of drivers probably thinking they're maybe going to take their last sets here, or maybe get a little bit of damage repaired. Coming up to 25 laps to go here. I think if anybody stops now, this will be their final pit stop of the race. And I don't think anybody, me, Tim, or our producer chose Nathan Meyer, but I think if the smart money would have been on him, because usually, like I said before, he is a driver that always has the chance to win. And I know he's going to be happy to possibly get it done here, but who knows? Jeff No could find himself in victory lane. I don't believe he's been in victory lane yet in this series. I'm not even going to mention the guy that's in third place, because every time I even try to say that he might win a race, he always doesn't. So what do you think so far, Tim? Who do you think's who's been the best truck you've seen tonight?
I think you're right with the Meyer call, although I feel he might have learned something from watching Ron Hornaday and these trucks back in the day, because he has figured out these restarts here.
Yeah, I think the restarts have been incredibly important. That's for sure. And I wonder if anybody can possibly watch him and figure out how to match him on these restarts. We see a little bit of a bump trap there for the 73 of John Lucido. He says, "You're not hot. You're not further enough up." And he bumps the back of the one of Jeff No. Wow, you don't see that very often at Bristol Motor Speedway. Bump drafting. Green flag is back out in the air as Nathan Meyer up through the gears. And No able to secure second place as James Harris not quite able to stay side by side. Oh, already problem. The caution flag is out. As I think you see Jason Taylor definitely involved in this crash. This is unfortunate. Looks like the 82's already bringing it to pit road. He must have been involved. And then, of course, being Stan Carnathan. Of course, now 14 drivers on the lead lap. Looks like Garth Snyder once again. Oh, man, Keegan Sabilo. Huge hit on the inside wall. Front nose went directly into the wall. Would not be surprised that we see Keegan Sabilo's day done here after such a tremendous hit. Take another look back at this and see if we can get to the bottom of where this began. And I do believe it. I want to look at the 5 here and see the 5. Oh, it looks like the 82 took the 5-3 wide because the 5 was a little bit off pace, and the 82 got loose up on the top side. And we've seen that all night long, being up there in that debris. You've talked about it, Tim. That debris up there seems to be just no man's land. You don't want to be up there. There's no grip up there. Take a look through the cockpit here.
It looks like as soon as he tries to get into the throttle here, he can't hang on to it.
Yeah, it happened so suddenly there. Doesn't even look like he was being too crazy with the wheel or anything like that. It just seems like, just like you said, I think the throttle is the key point there. I think that he got, when you get back onto the throttle, when you're up there in that debris, it seems like the truck just does not want to grip. Or maybe it grips too much. But Nathan Meyer still out front. He's probably loving these cautions because this allows him to be kind of uncontested and not have to hurt his tires. And that's going to be, we heard it from James Harris earlier, how important these tires are. And at that 30-lap run, you get to where you're so loose, you're snappy loose. I don't want to have to race on a long run here with the way this setup is, the way this truck has been behaving. And I think this is probably the best case scenario for a driver like Nathan Meyer. He doesn't have to battle with these guys, and it's just going to come down to short run after short run for him. I'll tell you, our pick, James South, he's moved his way up quite successfully. He's up in 5th place, I do believe, right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think he is scored right now in 5th place. slowly but surely he's been working his way through the field. Andrew Hale, of course, who was earlier in this race 3 laps down, I do believe, has made his way back on the lead lap. He is now up to 8th place. So definitely a really good recovery for Hale. And I know he's got to be happy about that, just considering, I mean, you win a championship, you come back with a lot of confidence, and you don't want that confidence to be killed in the first race. But here we go. Pace car lights have gone out. We're getting ready to get this thing back underway, as I do believe we'll have 16 laps to go. Or 17, I should say. And there goes the green flag waving once again. Meyer with another expert level restart. James Harris able to really take advantage. Oh, almost some problems there for the 73. As John Lucido, I think, bounced off the bumper of the one machine, was able to save it. Now side by side with James South. Oh, problems for Tall Man in the 11. What a save. Able to save it, no caution. As we come to 15 laps to go, Meyer out front. As South embroiled in a battle with John Lucido. Andrew Hale trying to work his way forward. Tyler Meeks as well. Huge battle right now for the top 5. Oh, see South getting up there into those marbles, that loose stuff up there. I don't know if I want to be up there. As we see, the battle has started to heat up, and South able to get to the bottom. I think he is a breath of fresh air. Oh, there goes Lucido around in front of the field. No caution, as he was able to save it. I think some of the trucks around him helped him save it in a lot of ways. As you can see, Keegan Sabilo trying to work his way forward, but Meyer still in the lead. Got about a 0.3 of a second lead on Jeff No right now. As we come to, I do believe, 11 laps to go, 10 to go after that. It's a big run there for the 81 of Harley Barletta. Of course, who qualified on the pole. He's running his way up to the 55. He's trying to take that 3rd place position away. And of course, Andrew Hale, who was 3 laps down earlier in this race, is now up to 5th. That is a bona fide recovery if I've ever seen one. As here comes Hale. He's not content. He tries to send it in on the 81. The 81 closes the door. The 81 sideways. Oh, smashes the outside wall. Caution flag is out. And I got to say, that's got to be the day done for the 81. Wow. What a collision. That was a KO finisher, Mortal Kombat style, if I've ever seen it.
It looked like our pick for the race got into him as well.
Looking back at this, you could just see that the 81 got loose, was trying to hold off the 4. So I don't blame the 4 for this at all. I just think that the 4 kind of had no choice but to finish him off here. And unfortunately, the 81, who had qualified on the pole, was one of the fastest drivers here tonight. I think that's going to be day done. 2 laps down for that driver. As we see, I think we heard from you that the South got into the 81 as well. And right here, boom, yep, front end damage for South into 21. He does have a fast repair left, and I think that he probably didn't hopefully hurt that front end too bad. But this means with that caution, I think we're going to have ourselves less than 5 laps to go when the green flag flies. So this is going to be a shootout. Can someone make something happen here? Is, of course, now we're down to, I do believe, 11 drivers on the lead lap here momentarily. William Mann Jr. has parked his race car, from what I'm seeing, and that will leave us with 11 drivers. Oh, no, Ray Kennison just got his lap back, I should say. So Kennison, he, of course, has been involved in quite a number of accidents here tonight. He's back up into the lead lap. So if anything huge happens, he could find himself getting some positions here. But this has been a demolition derby tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway. I think we're going to be hauling off a lot of broken trucks tonight. But Nathan Meyer, he's going to be wanting to see if he can get to the top of the mountain and claim that trophy, the first race of the season. That would be such a confidence booster, I got to say. And I think Nathan is already such a skilled driver. And when you add that winner's mindset to the beginning of a season, I think that sets you up for success later in the season, especially winning at a track like Bristol. I mean, this is a place that you have to be courageous, and you also got to be lucky and skilled at the same time. I think pace car lights should be going off this next time by. It's Meyer, of course, still in control. Jeff Noe has been very, very impressive in that one machine. Of course, Andrew Hale, you could tell he has got a fast race car underneath him. What is he willing to do? Of course, we saw him battling with Harley Barletta. Can he work his way up to the podium? Well, we'll be talking to him. We're going to find out. Also, a recovery from Keegan Sabilo, who had a huge hit on the wall earlier, and he's up to 6th now. So this has been even though it's been a catastrophe for a lot of drivers, it's also been a night of rebounds and recoveries. Those pace car lights are out. We're about to see Barney wave that green flag here. So here comes the pace car taking that left turn. And for what will be, I do believe, a 3-lap shootout to the end. And there's the green flag. Nathan Meyer able to have a solid restart. Side by side for second place as Harris tries to pounce on Jeff Noe. Harris getting a little bit tight in the center of the corner. He's going to be under fire from Andrew Hale. Top line seems to be prevailing at the moment. Do we make it to the white flag, I think is the question, as we see Harris drops back to the 4th place position. Here comes Hale to the inside. Going to try to take over second. White flag waves. Next flag will end it. Nathan Meyer out front in the best position as they battle for second place. Can Hale take this position? I don't think so. And here we go. Checkered flag waves out in the air. Nathan Meyer, your winner here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The last great Coliseum just got a new winner.
We definitely had some action on the backstretch, though. I think we had 2 or 3 cars spinning.
Would not surprise me if we can maybe dial that back. We can see if we can watch that right quick. I think we had it. There it is. I think that's the 7 of Tyler Meeks, if I'm not mistaken. You can see some definitely some action on the backstretch. As I think that's Meeks having some issues. Oh no, I think that actually, who is that? I don't think that is Meeks. Oh, okay, so that is Tyler Meeks. We see, of course, Nathan Meyer burning it down on the front stretch. Very well-earned win. I mean, he got the lead, and he never looked back. I mean, just seemed like he had control, was able to expertly take the lead as well earlier in this race with a fantastic restart. He's going to do a Polish victory lap here in honor of Alan Kowicki. And, of course, that paint scheme is actually in tribute to his late father, Nathan Meyer, of course. So definitely want to, our hearts go out to him for sure. And this is going to mean a lot to him getting this victory here at Bristol. So go ahead and get that thing turned around and does a couple more donuts. How about it? Let's go ahead and run down through the final results. We're going to actually take a commercial first, and then we'll come back and we'll go through the final results. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Grid Vision's coverage of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series. Of course, my name is Brian Britt. I have Tim Babcock here in the booth with me. We're going to go through the unofficial results here of the race here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Of course, Nathan Meyer able to win after starting in 5th place. Jeff No started in 16th. I do believe he was the biggest mover tonight, finished in 2nd. Andrew Hale finished 3rd. Keegan Sobilo, 4th place. James Harrison, 5th. Nathaniel Tallman in his first race finishes in 6th. James South in 7th. 8th place, John Lucido. 9th, Gar Snyder. Dan Hellewig rounds out the top 10.
And then we had Ray Kennerson in 11th, Tyler Meeks 12th. He had a very eventful night. William Mann 13th, Harley Barletta in 14th, Jason Taylor in 15th, Stan Carnathan in 16th, George Young in the 17th spot, John Thacker 18th, and Chris Coyne rounded up the field in 19th.
All right, and with that, we're going to go ahead and get into our interview portion of tonight's race. We'll talk to our 3rd place finisher, Andrew Hale. We got you up here in the booth, man. Congratulations once again, of course, on your championship last season. It was not that long ago. How did you feel coming into tonight's race? Did you have more confidence? What was the thought process?
Not really confident. Bristol's hard on tires for me. I tend to crank a lot of wheel into it. And but no, I just told myself I missed a lot of practice. I didn't get a lot of practice, so I was surprised qualifying 4th was even possible. But I knew just take it off, go slow, and then everybody up front was running like we had to get to the lead lap 2 or something. And then caution after caution, which gets old. But then I was one of the cautions. I'll call blame for it. I run into his left rear and killed the engine. So there I was, 3 laps down.
Yeah, and we saw that. I mean, but still, what a recovery for you. I mean, you were 3 laps down. Luckily, we did have numerous cautions that kind of allowed you to get back on the lead lap, and you were able to fight your way up to 3rd. Did the track change a lot, or was it kind of the same all night long?
I wasn't really running hard the whole race because I knew I was laps down. I was like, why race? I just need cautions. And then I should have been on the lead lap caution before, but somebody rear-ended me. I thought my night was done there, but it didn't damage it too bad. We just stayed in it. Tried my best to keep myself calm. I wanted to go race no matter what. I was like, let's just go have fun. Oh well. But I just kept telling myself, let's stay in it, see if we can go get a top 10. Then I was in the top 10. I was like, let's get a 5. And then here we are with a 3.
Hey, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. 3rd place. Good start to the season. Going to be some good points for you for sure, Andrew. Of course, next week, we'll see how the points go with that. Circuit of the Americas. Are you a road course racer? How do you feel about that?
I ran about 5 laps today, and I ran off track every lap. So, no, I'm not a road course racer.
Well, that answers that question. Hopefully you get a lot more time to practice. Who we shout out, Andrew, after your 3rd place finish?
I'd like to thank Champion Power Equipment for helping us put this thing on. You guys up in the booth doing y'all's thing and broadcasting.
All right. Well, thanks, Andrew. Congratulations on your 3rd. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
All righty, that was Andrew Hill, driver of the 4 Machine. Next up, Timothy Babcock's going to be standing by with Jeff No, our 2nd place finisher.
Hey Jeff, how was your evening tonight?
It's pretty eventful, man, to be honest.
How was it trying to be patient to get up to 2nd place and to stay out of trouble?
Well, to be honest, I was pretty patient the whole race, man. I wanted to stay green just because, I tried to save tires, and then when I tried to save tires, we'd have caution, and then, try to push it hard, and it was just like whatever I wanted to try to do, the race kind of just organically did the opposite, and that's how it goes sometimes. Embarrassed myself by crushing the inside wall, trying to pass Lucido for the lead there. I was trying to give you guys something to talk about in the booth, and had to use my fast repair. Restarted, I think, 13th, man, and made some pretty ballsy passes to get up to 2nd place. So I mean, it was a good race. It was fun. I love Bristol. It's one of my favorite tracks. It's unique, and there's no place like it. So second place, man, to start the season off at Bristol is solid.
What more did you need to go up there and get the first spot?
I know Nathan and James were restarting in first gear. I honestly, I didn't trust myself to do it, so I was restarting in second, and Nathan just really killed me on, I think, 2 of the last 3 restarts. One of those I had a really good shot, and I liked our chances if it stayed green, because I could close in on him a little bit, every lap when we have that little 10 or 12 lap run. But restarts and kind of having to obey and pay attention and restart on the leader, man, it was just just played out the way it did, and we'll take second place. Battling Andrew there. I know you had fresh rubber. Racing with James there really hard and being respectful, man, that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Next week, you're going to have to turn right and left at Kodo. Are you looking forward to that? Have you been practicing?
Oh, hell no. I'm not looking forward to that at all, man. I'm not a road course guy. Definitely have to get some practice in this week, and my goal is to finish. If I can finish 10th to 7th, man, that'll be a good run for us.
Well, good luck to you next week. Who would you like to give any shout outs to this week?
I just a shout out to you guys. Sorry, I'm a little sick. Shout out to you guys for just taking your time and do this. I know the guys are appreciative in the league. I don't know if they always vocalize it, man, but whenever I'm get up here in the booth, I'd like to tell you guys thank you, just for the job that you do and sacrificing your free time. James, running this league, man, this is a fun league. I was able to join last season and race through the whole season, and I'm back for this season. And just want to shout out to my sponsor, TJ's team. They've been with me ever since I started iRacing about 2 years ago. And of course, all my teammates that run all over the place. There's about 12 of us that are teammates, man. We run in all kind of divisions and different types of races. So that's Eon's Motorsports. So thank you guys, man. For real, thank you.
Thank you for the interview, sir. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Alrighty, that was Jeff No, driver of the One Machine. Definitely a fantastic performance to him. Next up, we're going to talk to our winner here tonight, Nathan Meyer, up here in the booth. Man, what a show for you. I gotta give you a clap on the back, man, for that fantastic restart that you had earlier in the race, when I do believe, I think we saw, if I'm not mistaken, Harley Barletta was on the bottom side and he was the control car, and you were able to match him on the restart and kept your nose on his right rear and were able to pass him for the lead. I think that was the best move we saw all night long. I mean, that was the move for the race. I mean, walk us through that. How were you able to pull that off?
Yeah, thanks, man. I just knew that if I got to the lead there, I wasn't going to pit again, and I just was up on the wheel on that one. He kind of left super late in the box, so I kind of already had some my foot in the gas a little bit, so I was able to just keep him side by side, and he must have lifted in the corner because I kept it flat out, just knowing that I had to get to his outside at the end of the corner, else I don't think I would have won that race. So I just knew that was the moment for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was the moment for us too, to kind of see the move of the race, to see who was going to win it. And I think you pulled it off. And every race we see you in, you seem like you're able to be the one that you're capable of winning, I'd say. For sure, and definitely a great job to you. Really great start to the season. I know last season you weren't really able to run all of the races and be kind of in position to run for a title. Do you think that's going to be different this season?
Yeah. The schedule is clear for me. I'm going to be here every Tuesday. You probably won't see me up front at Coda next week, but other than that, I expect to be there. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to actually. I don't think I've ever been here for every race during one of these seasons, so making it a point to do it this time.
Yeah, we definitely think you're going to be one of the front runners. I mean, every time we see you out on the track, it seems like you are one of the front runners. Now, walk us through how hard was it to avoid accidents here tonight? It seemed like that was one of the major skills that you had to be able to have.
Yeah, so I actually was the only one that didn't have an incident point this race, oddly enough. But I feel like every caution, it was either right beside me or in front of me. I was sideways myself twice. Because I almost got wrecked as well. So yeah, if you can avoid that, you don't have to pit, you don't have to fix your damage, and you don't have to worry about that stuff, and you can just kind of focus on actually racing. and I didn't have any damage on the car, so I wasn't really had to adjust for any bent pieces. So it was just easy for me. But yeah, it's crucial to avoid the wrecks as best you can. You always feel like you're going to get in something here, but if you can avoid it, it pays off.
All right. Well, Coda, of course, you mentioned a little bit about that. I mean, so not a road course racer, I take it.
No, not at all. I don't even own the track, so I'll have to buy it, this weekend and then run a few laps to see what it's like. But in no means am I a road course guy.
All right. Well, looks like everybody that we've talked to has said they're not a road course driver. So I think it's going to be a whole bunch of non-road course driving people trying to drive around a road course. It's going to be really entertaining next week. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, absolutely. My plan is to drive slow and drive safe and let everyone else wreck.
It might work. That might be the strat for sure, Nathan. Well, thanks for your time. Congratulations on the victory. Who can we shout out?
Thank you. Yeah, thanks to you guys for putting this on at Good Vision, and then obviously thanks to Champion Power Equipment, Green Mountain Grills, Blackstone, all those guys for doing what we do. And yeah, it's a good start to the season.
All right, Nathan. Thanks for your time.
All right, thanks, guys.
Alrighty, that was Nathan Meyer, driver of the 24 machine. Definitely a fantastic performance for him. I think before we get to the outro here, I think we're going to take a quick look at the schedule. We did not get a chance to do that earlier in the race, so I think now's the perfect time. We'll get to take a look at it and see exactly what we have on the docket for the remainder of the week. Of course, tomorrow night, Thunderclap, one of my favorite series. I used to call this series. It was a lot of fun calling them. Of course, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're going to be at Darlington Raceway. Now, that's going to be a classic battle. They got some really talented drivers that run in that series. Can't wait to watch that one. I might have to tune in myself. Of course, Friday night, we're going to see the Ryco Performance NIS coverage there. That starts, I do believe, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be good to see how the NIS goes that night. And, of course, that rounds out the week. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Of course, my name is Brian Britt. We've had Tim Babcock in the booth here with us tonight. First race that he's called with us at Grid Vision, so definitely glad to have him, and hopefully he had a good time. Of course, we always want to give a shout-out to Austin Derbyshire, who always does a fantastic job bringing all the camera angles, running all the overlays, and doing all the hard stuff that we don't do. All we do is talk, but he's running all the difficult things. We definitely appreciate everybody out there tuning in. Hopefully you have yourself a wonderful rest of your Tuesday night. This has been Grid Vision. Have a great night.